Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the R7 where this time we are getting things ready to go racing, and that includes the fitment of a few parts. We have had arrive from Trex Racing, who I just bought them, no sponsorship or anything like that. We've got these engine case protectors, one for each side of the bike. They came with the hardware and instructions. They are pretty chunky, which is both good and I guess bad potentially, because it will stick out from the bike slightly further. I don't think that's an issue for me. I don't get the bike cranked that far over these days, so I'm not too worried about how chunky they are, as long as they do a good job in the event of a crash. And then secondly, we have ordered, it hasn't arrived yet, so it won't be in this video, sorry, but we have ordered this CRC fairing lower belly panel for the R7. So it is coming from the UK, so there is a bit of a shipment time, etc. But to be honest, when I came around to looking to order one in the US, everybody is out and is also waiting weeks for arrival of their bodywork as well, from like Hot Bodies, from Armor, what was it called? Armor Bodies? I can't remember. So I thought, well, why not? And this actually, with shipping and coming from the UK, is actually cheaper than ordering one in the US. I've got my fingers crossed that this lines up with the standard fairings. If it doesn't, well, maybe we've either got some work to do, or we go back and buy the full unit, and well, we'll just have a full unit, a full fairing. And then lastly, we've got a radiator guard, which I got from Amazon for like $32. If you go and look on Amazon for R7 radiator guard, you'll see it, and you'll see what it looks like in the video anyway. So let's get on with it, and we'll see what it looks like when we've got these things fitted. Enjoy. So here we go then, let's get this radiator guard installed. It's a little bit convoluted and a bit of a mess about getting all the fairings off, so it's a bit of an annoying job, but might as well get on with it and get it done. So first job being to get both side fairings off, so we've got access to the radiator tucked up in here, so let's get that done first. All right then, side panel is off, so we're left with this inner piece to get out of the way. What I think I might do whilst I've got the opportunity is to relocate this. I believe that when you, well, I know that when you switch out to full race fairings, obviously this piece won't be here, this plastic piece, so this needs to go and live somewhere else. And I think it lives on a bracket made up on these two holes. One of the subscribers, Michael, who sent the suspension internals, he showed me a photo of the bracket that he bought, so I'm going to try and make one up myself and take this opportunity to do the relocation whilst I've got the chance as well. Okay, there you have it. We've got all the side fairings, the belly pan pieces away from the bike. So this is good because we're going to be fitting the race style belly pan, so might as well take all that off anyway. We're going to be fitting the engine case covers, so we've got access to that. And today's little job is just to pop on this guard, so we need to give the radiator a bit of a clean up. There are some fins that have been hit by stones already, so I'm going to try and straighten those up with a very fine screwdriver, flat bladed screwdriver, and just give it a bit of a clean up before we install the radiator guard. The radiator guard comes with these foam strips to attach. They are self-adhesive, so they attach top and bottom. Bit of a tight squeeze, but you will get it on both sides like that. Alright, so we've got the radiator guard in place. That was a bit of a daunting job, but I'm glad we've got it done. Only because of all the fairings we had to take off, but I needed to do that anyway, so it's all worked out, I guess, in the end. Right, so now we're going to figure out if we're going to put our regulator on here or leave it in the standard position for the moment. We need to know if the original fairing top will fit in place if we move it ahead of time, but we don't need to worry about that too much just now. But I might rig it up and take it like this to the dyno day, because it's gonna be easier to see things if anything goes wrong. But anywho, we've got that in place, and the next jobs are probably going to be the engine covers, so bear with me and we'll do those next. Right, well, as you can see, this is now not the same day, and this is a Tuesday evening or something. I was actually tempted to do this little bit of filming live to YouTube, but I got a bit shy. I don't know how many people would actually be here to follow along if I did do a live, some kind of YouTube session. So I'm not risking it now, but if you think that's a good idea and you would be interested in like watching me mess about in the garage live, then by all means comment and let me know, and we'll do some future sessions of some kind. Right, that aside, there's a few things I want to talk about. Well, a few things we're going to film. We're just going to talk about putting those Trex racing covers on the bike. And then this is a very useful piece of equipment for racing or track daying, and it's a fluid extractor. So this is, if you don't know, I'm sorry if you do and you're well aware of this already, but when I first started doing track days, I would just put fuel in the bike. I had no idea how much fuel I was putting in, and it would affect the balance of the bike. You know, you could feel it if you put too much fuel in. So this is going to help us measure the fuel that we're going to put in the bike. And how does that work? Well, let's say we just guess an amount at the start of a track day, 20-minute session. Let's say we put 5 litres in the tank, and then we extract 4 litres. So we know that that session took up 4 litres of fuel, and then we can work that back to laps. So if we did, 4 laps somehow in a really long track, then it's a litre a lap. And then if you know that your race is X amount of laps, you can begin to estimate and have a very good guess at how much fuel you're putting in the bike. And that helps you keep the bike balanced, or in a window where you know the fuel amount is not going to be too much and throw you out of balance when you don't need it. So we're fueling efficiently for what we're about to do. So with this, we can extract, measure how much fuel we've taken out, and then using our fill jug, we can measure how much fuel we're putting back in. And that's really quite an important part of racing and track daying. Once you get to those sort of margins of error, you want to know how much fuel is in the bike. And so we'll get this set up. I'll give you a very brief demonstration at the end of this portion of the video to show you how that works. But first, we're going to get these covers in place. So here we go. So there's some body cam footage, if you want, of us installing the left-hand side case guard. Fairly simple story, as you can imagine. Finding the right bolts, taking them out nice and easy. We do apply some blue lock thread as per the instructions that come with the cases, with the covers. So a nice smear on there. And then just take it nice and gently when we're putting these back in. It is an aluminium case, so we don't want to strip anything. And you'll see in a moment that we're going to use the torque wrench. So these are requested to use 5 foot-pounds. So find a torque wrench that has that range on it. Otherwise, you might over-tighten these things. So in this case, we get a nice small one. It actually measures in inch pounds, which is 60. The equivalent of 5 feet-pound is 60 inch pound. So yeah, it's just a nice case of taking it easy, putting these bolts back in. There is some flex in these pieces because of the material they're made out from. But that's fine, and obviously they do fit well eventually. Had a bit of a struggle with the left-hand side, but we got there eventually. So yeah, it was fun doing the live stream, doing this. If you watched it, then thanks for watching along. So here we go, torquing up and getting the job done nicely, all to spec. And yeah, all good there. Okay, well, that was a bit impromptu, but we did a live stream in the middle of this work. And that during the live stream, we got both sides fitted. So I'll take you around the other side. And then we used this fluid extractor to get the old fluid out of the tank, because we want some fresh as possible fuel in there, ready for the dyno session in like a week and a half. So I'll take you around the other side 1 second. So this is the other side, the Trex engine case cover. It took a little bit of finagling because it's got a bit of flex in this. So you've got to like just trust the process and make sure you follow the instruction regarding which spaces go where. But we got it in and it fits nice and is very robust, as you can see. So it's going to protect the engine pretty goddamn well. So that's very good. And yeah, we are just finishing off the job of pulling the fuel out. Definitely do this with your garage door open, not closed. Do not do it with your garage door closed. Bad idea. Anyway, we've got that job done, and I will come back when we've got any further news on race prep. Well, I guess the final piece of the puzzle for us going racing, or at least one final piece of the puzzle in terms of buying things in advance, apart from tires, is a transponder. Now, this is my transponder that I used back in the UK, but it's so old now that it won't even charge. So I'm gonna have to grab a new one. I think it's gonna cost like $190-ish to get a new one. These are subscription based, so you pay your annual subscription and you set the license going on these things and charge it up and off you go. But yeah, I'm tempted to try and grind off the case in some way and just see if we can make this alive again. I don't think we can, but it might be worth an attempt at some point, whilst I'm probably just going to order another one as well, to be honest. But anyway, so those are the parts of the puzzle that we're getting sorted out, and I'm going to end the video here for now, and I'll keep you up to date, obviously, with the progress when the belly pan arrives and we do a bit more lock wiring. I've just been reading up on the rules and regulations from last year. I think the new rule book from ASA is coming out soon, so we'll dive into that and make sure that we're covered for all things lock wiring and breathers and regulations and things like that. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.